Hey, welcome back to Morning Joe. It's the top of the hour. Let's bring in now former CIA director and senior national security and intel analyst for NBC News, John Brennan. Thank you so much for being with us. And you just posted an opinion piece, and which leads to the Washington Post, which leads to the first question. Why do you feel the need as a former director of the CIA to speak out so strongly, so aggressively about what you see happening in the Trump administration and in the intel community you served?
Well, good morning, Joe. This is the first op-ed I've written since I left the government, and I felt the need to explain why I and so many other former national security officials are speaking out because of the abnormal and aberrant behavior of Mr. Trump that very much concerns us because of the negative impact we believe it is having on our national security. A bad signal that it sends to our young Americans, as I say in the op-ed, who look upon him as somebody who should be emulated as the most powerful position in the world, the President of the United States. And his continual lying, as well as lack of ethics, as well as lack of rigor in terms of the policies that he pursues. So these are, it is abnormal for us to speak out as critically and as vocally as we have, but these are abnormal times, and he is an abnormal president, and not in, he's aberration and not in a good way. That's what gives us the motivation to speak out.
Director Brennan, this is David Ignatius. Welcome to the Fellowship of Op-Ed Columnists. I want to ask you a question about North Korea, if I might. We have a North Korean intelligence chief in the United States. He's coming to Washington, and that raises for me the question: how much do we know about what goes on inside North Korea, so that we'll be able to verify with some confidence what North Korea is doing as it moves toward, we hope, complete nuclear disarmament? What kind of intelligence base do we have?
Well, when I was in government, North Korea was probably the most difficult target to penetrate as far as getting the insights into what Kim Jong-un and others are planning and thinking. But I think over the years, U.S. intelligence, working with a lot of our partners, has increased our understanding of what's happening there. So I think we have better intelligence than we had before. But still, it's going to be very, very difficult. Kim Jong-un keeps his confidence very much to a very small group of individuals. And the fact that he's sending such a high-level emissary over here now, I think, underscores his interest in picking up on Mr. Trump's willingness to have a summit. But it's going to be difficult, I think, for the U.S. intelligence community to really understand what is in store in terms of the future. The North Koreans, I think, will want to have this summit, but I and many others believe that they have no intention at this point of denuclearizing.
Director Brennan, it's Casey Hunt. I wanted to turn back to the Mueller investigation, because there have been suggestions from the president and his allies that perhaps the CIA was involved in the beginning of the FBI's counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign, and the president and his allies have embarked